Hello, today we're going to talk about how to perform a quick audit check on the configurations that is loaded on a Juniper router using Jsnapy. Now, many times we may want to audit the configs of a box and check if we have the right settings. So Jsnapy is one of the options. You may have other options available, but in this video I will be demonstrating how to use Jsnapy to quickly perform a config audit check from a router. So the file that I have is, I will just open the compliance check file. So it's called complience-check.yml. This is a file that I have. What it is trying to do is trying to connect to this particular device. This is a lab device. And we are trying to check for certain predefined compliance and see if it is passing it. Like, do I have authentication for BGP? Do I have RE protect filter enabled? So those kinds of checks you can do using this kind of a compliance check YAML. I will open up the compliance check YAML file and share it so you can have a play with it as well. So now to run the script, just call the Jsnapy. You call snap check, which is the hierarchy. If you want to really know what are the options in Jsnapy, when you do jsnapy-h, you will see a different options here. The feature that I am using is the snap check argument. So Jsnapy, I will call snap check, and you call the file name that you are trying to run. In this case, I want this compliance check to be performed against this device. So when I run it, you can see it's trying to connect to the device, get all the details, the configs and all the other details. And what it will do is it will check against a predefined YAML file that looks for certain conditions. Whatever is passing, it will say it passed. Whatever it failed, it is going to quickly tell me why it failed. So here, as you can see, this Jsnapy ran, and what it did, it clearly looked at the configs and checked on the predefined compliance file, and it identified that in this config that I have in my lab, for example, I do not have authentication set for these particular neighbors. Likewise, it is also saying that I do not have an RE protect filter. As you can see, firewall filter on routing engine is not set. Similarly, whatever is in red is just a quick indication that those are not the recommended configs ideally. For example, in the lab purposes, I am using an FTP, but it is an insecure FTP, so it's giving me a reason why. Likewise, you can check for SSH. As you can see, it's giving us a lot of checks that is performing, including my SNMP, where it's checking that it failed because all interfaces does not contain ME, the management Ethernet, or the FXP0. So kind of a useful script that you can use sometimes if you want to quickly audit your configs and find out if you have the best practice configurations in place. Sometimes over time some of those configs cannot be ideally compliant. It may just be there. Rather than scanning through the box and trying to identify it, you can use this kind of a script. I will share the compliance file. Of course, you can add, amend, or do additional checks if you want to the compliance file as well. So here is the compliance check file that we are talking about, that this did a check against the platform. And as you can see, the compliance check YAML file is checking against BGP authentication, RE filter, interfaces, ARP check, any kind of insecurity checks, especially with the FTP not being secure. As you can see, one of this is FTP. So if we are using insecure FTP, it's going to flag it as an alarm. So obviously these compliance values can be updated, amended. You can refer to day one Jsnapy book that has some excellent examples of how to update your iteration or xpath. So I've used pretty much a simple template here that covers majority of them, and we've tested it here. So hope you find this useful. Bye for now.